Hyphens, the ultimate part of speech. Aw, yeah. It's so cool that Jesus and Hulk Hogan have had a co-star appearance just for this assignment. Bow down to the almighty power of the hyphen. The one, the only. So, some of you might be wondering, what exactly is a hyphen? This is a hyphen. As illustrated on the first bullet point, it is basically like a minus sign. A hyphen's main purpose is to glue two words together. They tell the reader that two words that are next to each other are connected, forming a new combined meaning, creating a compound adjective. In its most base form, a hyphen clarifies modifiers, such as adjectives and such. This new adjective can have a completely different meaning than the sum of its parts. A hyphen can also be used at the end of a line to divide a word at one of its syllables that was too big to fit on that line. Now, just a note about this. That doesn't occur too much anymore because it's kind of been replaced. Because basically, it just kind of went extinct. You may as well just go to the next line rather than use that. Next up, though, it can also be used to indicate a missing or implied word, almost always being to. This is difficult to explain now. I'll show you later. Anyways, here's another illustration of the ever-mysterious hyphen. Oh yeah, it is sinister. Now, you see hyphens going on about these hyphens. Not many people know too much about them. It's the part of speech that English needs, but not the one that it deserves. The next slide is going to be pretty mind-altering on how you write any of your sentences in future. Now, you might be wondering, what could it possibly be? Festus, just switch the slide already. The suspense. Well, you're in 3, 2, 1. How to use a hyphen and when. First off, here is a normal sentence. I saw an ugly man eating shark. Due to your familiarity with some of the phrases in this sentence, you instantly assume that this sentence is describing an ugly shark that eats men. You are wrong, though. Without any hyphens, like how it is here, this sentence speaks of an ugly man who is currently eating a shark. This man must be Chuck Norris. Anyways, ugly modifies man, and by itself, eating becomes a verb. Now, see, that's kind of strange, is it not? You didn't think it'd mean that. Now you know all along you've been doing it wrong. Let's say that you write it as, I saw an ugly man eating shark. Here there's too many hyphens, which changes the meaning of the sentence. This sentence now speaks of a shark that will only eat ugly men. Ugly modifies man rather than shark, and man eating modifies shark. Let's say that you decide to say it as, I saw an ugly man eating shark. This sentence now speaks of an ugly shark that eats men. Ugly and man eating modifies shark in this sentence. This is what most of you originally assumed when you saw this sentence, no hyphens. Mind blown. Most English speakers such as yourself will understand what the sentence is trying to convey without the need for hyphens, as they naturally make use of context. But if you wanted to say what I described in the second and third bullet point on this page, then you will need to use hyphens for them to understand. As you see here, I have a realistic illustration of the shark conveyed here. Earth's mightiest predator in its natural habitat, the Halloween party. Hyphens in numbers, distances, and spans of time. Ah, yeah. Use a hyphen for any whole number in word form from 21 to 99. Also use hyphens when putting fractions into word form. Examples: whole numbers from 21 to 99, 43, 79, and 27. Examples for fractions: 2/3, 9/16, and 5/8. When using numbers, use hyphens for spans of time, distance, or other quantities. Example: 217 to 431, 1999 to 2016, and 300 to 325. Hyphens are often used to tell the age of someone or something. We have a 2-year-old child. That is a 4-month-old building. Don't use a hyphen if the time measurement, such as year or month, is plural. That building is 4 months old. Make sure you use 3 hyphens for this, or else it will give an entirely different meaning. For example, that is a 4-month-old building. This sentence technically is talking about an old building that is a 4-month building. So as you can see, these are some of the more common uses of hyphens, which is the most common one, which is using in numbers. But we need to address all of them for now, as you're starting to realize your own insignificance in the whole thing of life. After noticing how wrong you were all along, the only answer is to repent to the mighty hyphen. Continue on through this tutorial, and then maybe God will feel the need to bless you. Hyphen technicalities with compound adjectives. Now this is where we get nitpicky on the whole, what is a hyphen? Hyphen is life, for one. But other than that, when the compound adjective comes before the noun and modifies, use a hyphen. Usually if it comes after the noun and modifies, a hyphen isn't required. However, there are some compound adjectives that are used so often that they are always hyphenated, as they become established as being always in a hyphenated state. Example 1, noun after compound adjective. It was an off-campus apartment, whereas noun before compound adjective, the apartment was off-campus. As you can see, sometimes the hyphen isn't supposed to be put there because it's after the noun. That's just how it works, okay? Example 3, noun before well-known and established compound adjective. Our technology is state-of-the-art. As you can see, if the hyphen is a very well-known phrase, then it keeps the hyphenated state because that's how it's known as. Many times, hyphens are used when you create a peculiar compound adjective that is self-made or situational, almost like a slang term. You can make all kinds of adjectives like this. Y'all are a bunch of illiterate bum slickin' swine. I'll tell you that much for free, you dumb buffoons. Example 2. All the other parts of speech are try-hard wannabes. So, as you see, thanks to my accent, that is a good illustration of how you can make up your own adjectives with that. Now, it has been brought to our attention recently by a pig that not all pigs are illiterate, and we have to make a public apology. Okay, I'm sorry, we're not porkinist. Okay, we're not racist against you baconists, okay? So yeah, on to the next slide. Up until now, you've been hearing all about them compound adjectives. What if I told you that hyphens also exist in the realm of the compound verb? Hyphens can be used for made-up compound verbs to add clarity so that the readers can understand better what you are trying to convey. Example 1. The small young man book-read his way to wisdom and intelligence. And I wonder who he is. Anyways, example 2. The lazy slacker video gamed his way through high school. Again, I wonder who that is. Use a hyphen with when two nouns are formed together to form a compound verb. Example 1. Be careful while you ice skate on that thin ice. Example 2. They're going to attempt to booby trap the escaped lion. Anyways, as you see, even Batman realizes the earth-shattering relevance and importance of the hyphen. And upon poor Robin's inquiry on its relevance, he gets a good so-called smack to the face. Hyphens in nouns. Aw, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Not only adjectives, not only verbs. It's also in nouns. Hyphens are everything, everyone, and every place. Just like a noun. If a phrasal verb, a verb made up of a main verb and an adverb or preposition, is made into a noun in the sentence, hyphenate it. If it remains a verb, don't hyphenate it. Simple, clear instructions. Example 1. There was a buildup of traffic at the intersection where the car crash occurred. Example 2. You should continue to build up your pension. As you see, hyphen, no hyphen, hyphen, no hyphen. Continuing on in that degree. Example 3. There's no one in the house at the time of the break-in. Sure there wasn't. Example 4. They will break in by using a crowbar to tear open the locked door. As you see again, hyphen, no hyphen. Simple, clear instruction. Compound nouns can be written in 3 ways, being as one word, 2 separate words, or 2 hyphenated words. It used to be most common to hyphenate the words, but these days it is usually just expressed as either 2 words or 1 word. For example, you have like air crew, 2 words air crew, hyphenated air crew. Yeah, so this isn't that important. It's just kind of a bit language history. Here we have a little illustration of a young baby who survived eating food in the plane. But you see, I don't think that makes sense because, if he's eating baby food, it probably tastes the same and stuff, but whatevs. Next on the list, hyphens with prefixes. Yeah. Now this is the one that confused me a bit, but if you listen, now you'll understand after some careful integration. A prefix is a letter or set of letters placed before a root word. They expand or can change a word's meaning, sometimes completely. Hyphenate prefixes when they come before proper nouns or adjectives. Example 1, trans-American. Example 2, mid-July. For clarity, many writers hyphenate prefixes ended in a vowel when the root word begins with the same letter. Example 1, ultra-ambitious. Example 2, semi-invalid. Example 3, re-elect. Pretty simple, just adding on, changing the meaning. Hyphenate all prefixes beginning with the prefixes self, ex, and all, such as self-assured, ex-mayor, and all-knowing. Use a hyphen with the prefix re when omitting the hyphen would cause confusion with another word. Example, will she recover from her illness? I have recovered the sofa twice. As you can see, simple. I also kind of mixed in the part where you can cut it off at a syllable to move on along with, but it's not only that. Even if it was by itself, it would have that hyphen because of the different meanings so that it's understandable. On to the next slide. Hyphens with suffixes. A suffix is a letter or set of letters that follows a root word. Suffixes form new words or alter the original word to perform a different task. Suffixes are usually not hyphenated. Some exceptions are style, elect, free, and based. Modernist style, sugar-free. Mayor-elect, moi. Example 4, oil-based sludge. For clarity, most writers often hyphenate when the last letter in the root word is the same as the first letter of the suffix. Graffitiism and wiretap proof. On to the final, and that's it basically. But the final slide is just kind of an end slide. I'm going to talk some basic aftermath on that slide. Moving on. And that was hyphens. During this slideshow, I played up the hyphen as something important. But honestly, it's starting to become extinct. It's being used less and less as people's context mind can understand based off the rest of the sentence what's going on. And I do not need a hyphen to elaborate. It's also, as it's taught less and less in schools, less people even understand it. So it has no use really. But you can help. Donate now to the Festus Save Nation Incorporated, featured in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. With a measly donation of $2 a day, you can save the hyphens. Meet Festus at Ma-D if you want to speak of this. Adios, amigos. Oh wait, no, we're doing English.